What's your name and age?
My name is Megan Nguyen, and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Alejandro Fonseca Garcia, but I go by Alex. I am 19 years old.
My name is Maddie Wong, and I'm 19 years old.
My name is Jack O'Sullivan, and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Nicole Lee, and I am 18 years old.
What school do you go to, year, and major?
So currently I go to Boston University. I am a freshman, and I study journalism.
I go to UCLA. I'm a freshman, and I'm double majoring in stats and data science and cognitive science.
So I start.
I go to Chapman University. I'm a first year, and my major is broadcast journalism and documentary.
I go to Boston University. I'm class of 2027, and I am a dual business and film major.
Wow, such a professional response right there.
Interview voice, damn.
I go to Cal State Fullerton. I am majoring in computer science and finance, and I am a first year.
How has your day been so far?
It's been pretty good. Went to class, did some math homework, and then came here.
How's your day been so far?
It's been good. I woke up pretty early today, like in the grand scheme of things, 8 a.m., which is like a good time to wake up for me. Went to the gym, ate some lunch, went to my one class of the day, and yeah, nothing bad has happened so far. The sun is out, it's not that cold, so it's a pretty good day.
It's been interesting. I woke up at 2. It's the latest I've ever woken up. Felt like shit. But we got approved on a new apartment for next year, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Honestly, I'm just getting my day started right now. It's like, what, 5 p.m.? And I just had breakfast. I went on a little walk, nature walk, so that was pretty nice. Meditated, all that fun stuff, and now I'm here.
How's your day been so far?
It's been really good. It's been pretty chaotic. I woke up, I had to run to the gym, and then I came back, I showered, and then I did a spoil for one of my roommates. It was her last day of spoils, and me and my other roommate like came and surprised her and dressed up in silly costumes, and it was really fun.
How has your day been so far?
My day's been really good so far. Elaborate? It's Easter, so I saw my family. I brought my friends home. It's good to see everyone. Ate a lot of good food.
Has college been what you thought it was so far?
I don't think so. I feel like I didn't really know what college was going to be like when I made it here. I knew it would be a good experience, but in terms of like who I met and I guess like how I would change, I definitely did not expect it at all.
Has college been what I thought it would be so far? I think yes, in a lot of ways. First semester, I had a lot of fun, like meeting new people, having the opportunity to go and like experience, I don't know, like everything for the first time, like living by yourself, trying out the dining hall, eating new food in Boston. Yes and no. I feel like friendship-wise though, there's obviously like rocky like ups and downs, but I think overall it has lived up to expectations.
Yes and no. I feel like when I came into college, there was a lot of unexpected elements. So I knew that I was going to be encountering things that I wouldn't expect. And I feel like in that way, kind of like in a reverse psychology type of way, I did prepare myself and I did know what was gonna happen. And nothing like crazy has surprised me. It's definitely just a big adjustment, but I wouldn't say it's something that I wasn't prepared for because I knew that everything was gonna be expected. Like expecting unexpected is basically what I was going into it. So I'm like embracing all these things. And obviously if I like look back a year ago, I would have like no idea what I would be doing now. Like if that makes any sense, you know?
College has been a little bit different from what I thought it would be. There's a lot more independence and downtime, but there's also been some fun surprises that come along with that.
No. Yes and no. Is this like a elongated response or like a yes or no response?
This is literally up to your own discretion.
Okay. college has been interesting. I've learned a lot about myself. I knew it was going to be hard. I thought the academic was going to be the hard part. Turns out it wasn't. One of the interesting things that I found out, at least maybe some of my experience going to commuter school, is that I thought it'd be a lot easier to make friends. Especially since I'm an extrovert, so I kind of just naturally always made friends. But I had to really, really make an effort and go out there and rush a fucking professional fraternity to actually really make a good group of friends. So that was, that was surprising to me. It was surprising to me how shut off a lot of people are.
Have you achieved what you hope to achieve in college so far?
No, I just got here.
So far in freshman year.
Like what I wanted to achieve in freshman year, I guess I wouldn't say I achieved it though. I feel like things have progressed farther than I thought they would, as in terms of like the communities I found here. But I feel like I have yet to really achieve anything, I just got here.
Academically, I've definitely achieved what I wanted to. Outside of that, maybe socially and recreationally, I don't know if I could say the same thing, but just because it's different from what I expected doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
I would say academically, yes. I'm really proud of like where I am in terms of like my career path. I feel like I've explored everything that I've wanted to so far in terms of journalism, and I'm trying to pick up a minor in business. But I would say I thought I would have a more solid friend group and a bigger friend group right now in college, but I don't think that that's necessarily the case. But that being said, I have met a lot of individual friends separately that I really vibe with and I really love.
Again, yes and no. I feel like socially, yes, I've made a lot of really great friends, and I've been so lucky to live with some of my best friends and to find my roommates for next year, because I know that's a struggle for a lot of people, and I'm just really grateful that it was pretty easy for me. But I would say like academically and like goal-wise academically, I'm not sure. Probably no.
Okay, so I'm a freshman in terms of credits, right? It was my second year in college. So just by saying that sentence, I'd say no, I have not achieved what I wanted to achieve in academics because I've been here 2 years and I'm still a freshman in terms of credits. However, I think that a lot of that had to be outside of my control. If I actually go look at my first year in college, I was working at Sonic as a cook, and I was trying to just survive and find ways to pay for college and just kind of, somehow pass my classes. And I did. I passed my classes. And the question was like, if I achieved what I wanted to my first year. My first year, I don't think so. I think I achieved about half of what I wanted to achieve because I was able to get an on-campus job. I didn't work at fucking Sonic anymore. That shit was traumatic. But like I remember I left my first year. I had passed all my classes. I was on track for the most part. Still a couple credits behind here and there. But I realized I hadn't really found like a community or something like that. But if I consider my first year, the 2 years that I've been here, I'd say that I have achieved what I wanted to achieve, which is, I have some stability now. I have an on-campus job. I just found an apartment off campus, so I'm not paying ridiculous amounts to fucking dorm here. And I have a community on campus now. And I have a network, and I have a path, and I have a fucking internship. So like, things are generally trending forward. So it's a yes or no. My first ever year in college, no, I didn't achieve everything I wanted to. By my first 2 years, I think I'm pretty happy.
If there's one piece of advice that you wish you could give yourself at the start of the school year, what would it be?
At the very start of this school year, I would tell myself to be more patient. I feel like at that point in time, I knew that things were gonna get better, but I still was very discontent with where I was and how things were going, since it was very difficult at first to adjust. But I think in such a short amount of time, things have been going so well recently. So I think that I should be more patient, or I should have been more patient,
God, don't spread yourself so thin, Nicole. Don't. Just don't. Especially with friends. I feel like in the beginning of the year, which a lot of college freshmen will probably do, is, try a lot of new clubs and like do actually everything, like every single new club. Try to meet like every single new person. And especially in the beginning of the year, I would try to get like dinner or lunch with like somebody new every single day. And I took it not as a challenge, but as just like a new experience. And I feel like maturing for me in second semester is really choosing the friendships and choosing the people that I want to spend time with, and not necessarily spreading myself too thin with my relationships, but really choosing, let's say 3 people, or just a select really few amount of people that I want to continue to develop like a closer bond with.
One piece of advice I would give to myself at the start of the school year is just to be able to roll with the punches a little more. I definitely got thrown off by my experience in that it wasn't exactly what I expected. And I think if I had just learned to like kind of take things as they were and not get so bogged down in when things didn't go my way, I think I would have had a more positive experience, especially towards the beginning. And I would say just like expect the unexpected and accept the unexpected would probably be 2 more pieces of advice I would give to myself.
Maybe like, don't be afraid to like say hi to people. That's something super small, but it's something that I'm super shy and self-conscious of. Like, I'm passing someone in the hallway that I know. I saw that they were there, and yet I will pretend to not see them and just look at my phone. Just like say hi. Like, even though they probably won't say hi to me, like I should be the one to say hi to them. And then every day when we pass each other in the hallway, we'll both say hi.
You can get through it. You got through it before, and you keep getting through it when shit hits the fan. If you have to write on a whiteboard that you loved your life and you're happy 50 times to get through it, then do it. But you'll be okay. Things work out in the end, one way or another.
Have you kept in touch with any of your high school friends?
Yeah, I think a few. One for sure, like my best friend in high school, who like I'll continue to talk to for the rest of my life. But a few others that I'm like also close to, but just don't talk to as frequently.
I do stay in touch with all my hometown friends. I see them all the time. I'm so close. I live 40 minutes outside of the city, and some of them go to college here, but a lot of them, whenever they come on break, I try to make time to see them. And even if I can't see them in person, I talk to them all the time.
Have you kept in touch with any of your high school friends?
Oh, God. So all my friends from home know me as a terrible texter, and even in college, like I know I'm still really, really bad, and I take like a time of like 2 days to respond to a single text, which I'm trying to get better at. But yes, I have kept in contact with some, not many, but some, and definitely like the people who reach out to me are like, I try to keep in contact with them a little bit more. To give you names, honestly, first semester I wasn't really that great with contacting the people back at home, but after spring break and seeing a lot of my high school friends, I really wanted to make an effort to, I guess, keep up those connections, because I don't know, the people back at home, like in high school, there's some people that I really want to keep for like the rest of my life. And so my best friend back from home, her name is Maggie. I don't know if she'll be watching this, possibly, but I've been trying to keep in contact with her, FaceTiming her. And then there's another guy named Alex who goes to Parsons, which is in New York. And I always like try to do a little look-see on his life to see what he's doing. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope they don't see this. So my high school is actually really, really small. My graduating class was only 14 people, and I was the speaker for my graduating class. And the thing is, we went through a lot that year. We were all really close at the beginning of the year going through college apps, and also during the second semester as well. But we kind of fell off. Like there was a lot of drama that started. And so when I was the class speaker, it was really hard to talk about positive things when we were all so divided by that point. But I do have my close friends within that class, and I do keep in touch with them still, which is really nice. And we had like a little reunion in December, which is nice. But a lot of my friends that I had, my super close friends that I had when I was in high school, did not go to the same high school as me. So them I keep in touch with for sure, yeah.
I have. I recently, for spring break, I went up to Oregon to visit one of my high school friends. He's a really close friend of mine, and I think that for the most part, the friends that I needed to keep in touch with that are going to be, I think, my lifelong friends, or one of my lifelong friends, I've kept in touch with them. Mostly it's just when I go back up to the Bay in the summer or winter break, just hang out from time to time. So yeah, I think I've done a pretty decent job. There's a couple like friends that I haven't really reached out to as much, but that's mostly because I don't really if we don't end up being lifelong friends, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Kind of more just acquaintances. But it was pretty cool to figure out how not kind of like who are your acquaintances and who are your actual friends. Because your friends, though, you'll keep in touch no matter what.
If you were to rate the pressure of school lately from a scale of 1 to 10, what would that number be?
Like a 4.
School, probably like a 7. I think that I always put a lot of pressure on myself to like achieve and like get good grades, but I wouldn't say it's like any more than normal because I came from a pretty like competitive high school.
Ooh. It's a good question. It comes in waves. Like there will be a moment where I'm looking at my to-do list and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have so much to do. I have actually so much to do, like it's bad. Like I get that feeling of like shock. And then like an hour later, I'll be like, it's actually not that much if I do this at this time and this at this time. Yeah, it's fine. So I would say right now, as of this moment, not that much, maybe like a 4, because I do have a lot to edit this weekend, but we're ahead on our schedule for that. And I do have like a lot of big projects due at the end of the year, which is in a little bit over a month. So it's just about like pacing myself. Like, do I get started now for something that's not due in a month? Yes, I should be doing that, but will I do that? No, probably not.
Can I ask everyone?
Overall, probably a 6 or a 7. Academically, maybe like a 5 or a 6, and then socially more of like a 7 or an 8.
Pressure for school. I'd say like a 6 or a 7. I think it's just because a lot of the pressure, the first year of college, at least, my last year, all the pressure was on just surviving. Like not really, like yes, I had to pass all my classes, and I did, but there wasn't really that much of a pressure in terms of like, because it couldn't really be my priority at that moment, because my priority was like, how do I stay in college, right? And this year ramped up a bit, but at the same time, like at least the classes I'm taking, they're not particularly hard, and all the pressure that comes with academics is my own, because since I'm kind of funding myself through college, it's all on me. My mom, she wants me to do well, but like she doesn't really understand the difference between like a A or a C, or like, you know, how to look at transcripts and stuff like that. So obviously that like I want to do well for her, but there's no pressure coming for her necessarily. So that pressure's on myself, and although it is a lot of pressure, at the end of the day, I think it's at least in terms of academics, that's never been like the #1 priority in my life. And not because I don't like care about it, obviously I do care about it, but I think it's mostly because like the other priorities that have taken the forefront have been just surviving, living like, week to week, check to check. And then, if I get through college, which I will get through college, that's amazing. But for someone from my background, it's not necessarily expected to get like a valedictorian or A's or straight A student. And I have a lot of friends who like their background is like, okay, everything in your life is stable, everything is set up for you to succeed. Why the fuck aren't you getting A's, right? And I feel like that's a little bit more pressure that I am lucky enough not to have, but I have other pressures that I have to deal with.
Who would you say is your biggest critic in life?
Isn't everybody gonna say themselves?
Myself.
My biggest critic in life is probably myself.
Myself.
I don't know. I wish I had more critical people in my life. Oh, there's one person. His name's in Dragon Boat. He's the only other person besides you who called me out on the political nature of how I talk. And it's actually like crazy because like, I think we had this one talk at a Dragon Boat retreat, or even before that too. Like he called me out once because he like, for being a very like too careful and too calculated about like what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And I think he also like assumed that I was like malicious about that kind of stuff, or I could be, which I understand because I do think about why I'm doing things. And if I were to be a malicious person, then like obviously like I would not be like a great person to be around or like trustworthy. But I do think that he was right and in many regards in terms of like how I say things, and like I think a lot about like the logic behind it, making sure it makes sense, making sure it truly reflects what I believe. I think that's like the biggest thing. Everything I say, I want to make sure that I mean it wholeheartedly. So I think that's why sometimes like what I say can come out like kind of, I don't know, unnatural.
I agree with that statement. I think your stomach agrees with that statement too. Would you say you're satisfied with the pace of life? Has it been too slow or just right?
In terms of pace of life, I would say it's probably been moving at a good speed. I'm really scared of dying, so I wouldn't ever wish for it to be faster. I do wish sometimes that I progressed faster in terms of career, I guess, or like I want to be doing, like I want to be making movies right now, always, and I want to have, but like this might be like my OCD, like weird ass brain being like annoying, but like I always try not to say like, when you have a good event later in the week, say you're like going out on a Friday night, I always try to avoid saying like, oh, I can't wait for Friday, because like A, that means you're just gonna speed up faster and like getting closer to death. See, I'm thinking about this way too fucking much, but closer to death, but also like there are gonna be so many little moments in that time that you're gonna miss out on, and like I don't know, it's just like some dumb philosophy that I have, but long answer to a short question. Basically, I think time's been moving at a relatively good pace, but I always wish I could slow down. Yeah.
I think not satisfied, but okay with it. I feel like some days or some weeks, like when I have a lot of exams and stuff, I feel like life is just moving way, way too fast. But then, and like after all the exams are done, because for some reason all my teachers love to put the exams on like literally the same week, like that weekend I'll feel like, oh, things are going a little slow. Actually, maybe in general too fast. I feel like life is moving too fast.
It's honestly just right. And I'm lucky to live with people who live by the same pace of life as me. Yeah, because we all know when it's time to rest. We all know when it's time to party. And we all know when it's time to focus on school, and the time to be stressed and the time to relieve that stress. We all do it at the same time, and I think that's really kept me in check. So I really appreciate that.
I think so. I wish it could be a little bit slower, but the fast-paced nature of the quarter system is pretty nice. You never really get bored. You never have time to get caught up in the past.
The bad stuff is too slow, the good stuff is too fast.
What's one core memory that's happened this past year in college?
Ooh, core memory.
I guess a core memory, I would say, is just like, I have people in my room a lot. I really like to like socialize and share space. And there was one night, it was like right before Christmas break, and I had like 15 or 20 people crammed into my tiny dorm room. And we had like Home Alone playing on my laptop, displayed on my microwave. No one was watching it, and everyone was just hanging out. And it was like a really fun time to be surrounded by people whom I love. And yeah, that was definitely something that I really appreciated.
I think not necessarily core memory, but I'll remember this moment forever because I'm planning on Nikki being in my life forever. I remember the first time we hung out, we went to this Japanese grocery store called Maruichi, which is in Brookline, which I love and I probably frequent a little bit too much, but we walked there together and we had like the silliest, like best conversation, best heart to heart. We went there, we went to go eat our lunch, and then I think I got like hand rolls or something. It was very, very yummy. And I came back and I'll just forever remember how our friendship started.
I've never experienced a moment like this, and it's gonna sound super cheesy when I like tell you, but you had to have been in that headspace and in that moment. In that headspace meaning like Anyways, so we were like there was like, we have the sunset lamp, it's right here, and like when we have dance parties, we just turn on the sunset lamp, we turn on all of our like lights, and then we turn off these lights, the overhead lights, and then we just like dance. And there was a moment, I forgot what song we were dancing to. It was some Olivia Rodrigo song, some like crazy, you know how her songs are. And we were just like dancing in a circle with me and my friends, and it was just like, you know in the movies when like things just like slow down and you see like people's faces in like slow motion? It was like one of those moments. We were like dancing in a circle and we were like spinning so fast, but the moment was like so slow for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like joy. Like this is happiness. Yeah, so I'd say that.
Core memory? I think one of them was, going to San Francisco for a dragon boat race. That was like one of the most fun weekends I've ever had. Yeah. That's kind of extreme. Ever had? I mean, it's like one of the most. Top 10. But yeah. I don't want to like, the most fun ever. So extreme and so illogical. But yeah.
Okay. There's a lot. But I'm gonna say one just because in the moment, I was like, damn, this is a core memory. Okay, so it was actually this past week, this Sunday, we went to get hot pot. And I thought it was just, was it hot pot? No, KBBQ, my bad, same shit. Same concept, KBBQ, and it was my first time ever getting KBBQ. And I thought it was gonna be a fun thing. We went like at midnight. And I thought it was gonna be like a really fun thing. Enjoy some meat, like I love meat. But one of the friends I went with, should I name drop? Nah, I won't name drop. Let's call him Anthony, just for shits and giggles. Anthony, I went in there thinking it was gonna be like a fun dinner. Like there was a good vibe, you know, they're playing EDM in the fucking place. It was good. I was like, damn, it's gonna be fun. And he just starts ordering meat. He doesn't fucking stop ordering meat. He orders plate after plate. And I'm like, shit, I gotta keep up. So I didn't realize we were gonna go in there with the goal of bankrupting the fucking place, but that's what apparently we tried to do, because we had 28 plates of fucking meat between 3 people. There was 4 of us, but one of them, he just tapped out after like 2 plates. So yeah, 28 fucking plates of KBBQ, including 2 plates each of rice and 2, like, what's it called? Corn and cheese, whatever the fuck that is. It was good. 2 of those per person as well. And I couldn't fucking, I've never been that full in my life. And I just remember like in the car ride back, we were in the car and there was a moment where he's like, all right, let me just sit here a little bit and wait like 10 minutes before I start driving because he was too full. And I was like, you know, I'd love to, my man, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm about to shit myself if we don't start driving. And then like we just like kept adding on top of that about how full we're but it was like this moment for like 5 minutes straight. We were all just hysterical laughing while he was driving because of what we had done to this establishment and what we have done to ourselves and our stomachs. And then I was like, damn, this is, you know, it's a Sunday night, it's 2:30 a.m. I have never been this full in my life. Every single bump the car takes, my stomach hurts. And I have class tomorrow at 9 a.m. for calculus. And we were just hysterically laughing. And I was like, damn, that's like a core memory right there. I never made it to calculus. In fact, I think I had like a fever dream that night just because of how full I was. But that was definitely a memory. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna remember that. Just that laughing part. Just not being able to stop laughing because, you know, I feel like that's when you know you're really just in the moment or content, is when you just can't stop laughing and you don't necessarily know why. Like, it's not like something like funny happened. It's just you're laughing for the sake of laughing. And I think that's one of them.
If there was one thing you can change in your world, what would it be?
If there was one thing I could change, it would probably be like, I just wish I filtered myself more. I've definitely like, I had a lot of friendships specifically here, just kind of like get distanced or not really last, just because like, sometimes I'm too honest or I say what's on my mind and I need to like not say it all the time. And you know, that's just kind of topical right now, but I don't know. There's like been a lot of friendships. Obviously no one's friends with who they are friends with first semester, but I wish like things had ended differently so it would have been on more amicable terms, I think. You know, I want to be, you know, well liked and respected, like, or just like not disliked generally, and I don't think I am, but there are certain people out there that I wish I had separated with greater, like, or just like less like drama, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, this is probably gonna make me sound like an egotistical maniac, but if it was like my world and I could like change it, then it'd probably be like, I get like a personalized education about like film and things like that. And I get the experience that I really want right away and all the time, every day, and like the best possible experience. But that's also not realistic. You know, like that's not how the world works. You have to like, you are your own self-advocate. So I would love to live in a world like that, but I also want to see like how I will get myself opportunities and things like that. So yeah.
So as soon as he said the word change, I already knew the answer to this. And I remember like during the prep for this interview, I asked him like, how honest do you want me to be? And he might find out something about me that he didn't already know. So if there's one thing that I could change, is I wish that I was born here. Because it would take a lot of stress out of my life. If you know what I mean by that, you know, and if you don't, you don't.
Okay, there's two really stupid things that come to mind. One is period products should be free. Period products should be free. That's all I have to say. Period products should be free. Like, ain't no way girls are spending this much, like, that shit gets expensive. Like, that should be free. Like, I'm not trying to bleed my pants, like, please. That's one thing. And then the second thing is teleportation should be real. Because I would love to, like, in the morning, wake up, like, teleport to Paris, like, get a little croissant, like, come back, and then maybe for lunch, like, going to that hawker center in Singapore. Yeah.
In my world or like the world? My world. This is kind of crazy. Probably the mental health of my oldest brother. Yeah, that'd be a worthwhile use of that opportunity.
What's one small or little moment in life that you're currently enjoying right now?
My nighttime routine, it's not like I look forward to it, like I'm thinking in the day, oh my god, I can't wait to wash my face and take a shower. But it's something that when it comes to that time at night where I do that, it's so enjoyable for me because I get to think about nothing. Like I just get to be alone with myself doing something that I think is good, that I know is good for me. And just having that time, I feel like I value that a lot. If I didn't get to do that, I would be torn. Yeah.
Frozen grapes. I love eating frozen grapes in the morning. I don't know why. Like honestly, frozen fruit. Frozen fruit is unmatched because the dining hall only has like melons. And so I bought a big bag of frozen strawberries and I collected like all the grapes from the dining hall and then put it in a plastic bag and then put it in my freezer. And in the morning, like that, when I eat that for like a little small like breakfast or snack, I love it.
Something that I enjoyed that was like small was I got to see my little cousins whom I love. Like it's so weird because when I was growing up, I mean my oldest cousins are almost 30 and my youngest one is like 2. So I've kind of had both ends being in the middle of that. And so it's really weird now, like having my own life and like seeing my little cousins so rarely. So it was really great to see them, play with them. We went home for my grandma's 80th birthday, and I just love her so much. Like she's one of my biggest inspirations or role models. So it was really great to celebrate her and see her happy and surrounded by people she loved. So I don't know if that was small enough for what you're thinking, but
It's up to your discretion.
I enjoy having friends, and like like, you know, I've always had friends, baseball team, like, you know, it was very easy for me to get a group of people. I said before, it was very hard to make friends in college. But just like having people that like I can study with or hang out with or just talk with or like, hey, or even just like we're not close friends, but if I see you in the hallway, I'm gonna dap you up because I know you through someone, or I kind of know you, or we have had interactions, stuff like that. I feel like anytime in a moment where like, maybe we don't have to be talking, we're just like sitting there studying, doing shit like that. To me, that's very, very enjoyable because for the past year, I didn't have access to that. A lot of my time was spent alone. But it's I don't know, it's a double-edged sword because now, since I have access to people, if I feel uncomfortable with myself, or I'm just anxious that day, or things aren't going the best, I can go hang out with them and do stuff with them to distract myself, which is amazing. It's, you know, it's great. However, I no longer have to go through things alone.
Do you feel as if there's something that's missing in your life currently?
Oh, that's a hard question to ask.
Yeah, I miss my best friend. Also, I miss my family a lot. Not as in like I want to go back home every week and I'm homesick, but I feel like I wish that we were more involved in each other's lives. Like I was able to know what was going on, know what's troubling them, what went well day to day, but it's not the case.
Yeah, I do. And it's been something on my mind a lot. I feel like my family, like I just miss having them around so much because they are my biggest support system and they're my best friends. And so I feel like I miss them in my life. And it's funny because I wanted to I didn't apply to like that many schools in the Midwest. Like I applied to a couple safeties, but I applied to like schools on opposite coasts, like West Coast, East Coast, because I thought I wanted to be really far away and live the city life. And I love living the city life, but I would love to be able to experience it with my family.
Something that's like my own in college because, for example, my roommates, they both have their sororities. So that's always something that there's always commitments that come along with that. There's a club called the Sports Broadcasting Network that a lot of people in my major are in because it has to do with broadcasting, and part of our major is broadcast journalism. So a lot of people are interested in that club. but I don't want to do sports broadcasting. So it's really hard to motivate myself to go to the meetings and to do the games because I just don't want to do that. You know, it makes sense. And I really am into documentary, but there aren't too many things for documentary right now. I really want to be a part of something big, like some sort of project or some sort of club or fraternity, whatever it is. I just want my thing, you know? And I know I'm gonna get it, but right now, this semester, I wanted to get it earlier.
No.
If you could give life advice to someone based off of your own previous experience, what would it be?
Life advice? I think the biggest thing is that you have to become your own person independent of those around you. You can't rely on other people to tell you what to do, when to do it. You can't rely on other people for validation when you're feeling down, and for validation even when you're doing well in life. You have to know for yourself what's healthy for you and what's not. And that takes a lot of time and mistakes.
I would say this is basic, but like actually like just be open to new things. Because there's gonna be a lot of experiences that will probably scare you and things that you probably aren't comfortable with or things that you'd usually say no to. But since this is a new experience for like everyone, just do it, like just try it. If you don't like it, like it's fine. Just do it, like just try it. And like, I feel like something that's always important for me to remember, especially when you're surrounded by people who seem super advanced and ahead on the game on whatever it is, socially, academically. Like no one knows what they're doing, especially in the freshman year of college. Like people pretend like they have everything going on, that they got everything organized, that they know exactly what they're doing at every single moment in time, and that's just not true. Like everyone has those moments of uncertainty and stress and overthinking and just being lost. And so that's super normal, and like don't get caught up in the people who pretend like they're not going through that, because they probably are.
Don't take things too seriously. And you only live life once. And I know a lot of people say that, but the way that I interpret it is if you die tomorrow, and I think that having a recent passing in my family, I realize that life is so fragile. And if you die tomorrow, what do you want to be remembered by? And what is going to actually matter in life? And it's not really going to be, okay, obviously you should finish that assignment on time, but like at the end of the day, that minuscule point difference is not really going to matter that much. Or, you know, the way your body looks, obviously, which I've had problems with in the past. It's going to be the relationships that you make, and especially, like, yeah, the impact that you have on people. And yeah, you only live life once. Who knows if you're going to see the sunrise tomorrow, or if you'll be able to experience another spontaneous moment with your friends. So
I would say, if I could give one piece of, well, this isn't going to be one piece of advice, but if I could give advice to, you know, another person who is insecure or something, I would say, like, you're your own worst enemy, first of all. People aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. Like, don't worry. Like, and like, don't commit to the bit, but like, just try it. Like, I mean, your worries are obviously valid, but like, I've missed out on so much because I've been too anxious to do it. And like, I don't know, it's good to try everything at least once.
Life lesson. Don't invest so much into something or someone to the point where you stopped investing in yourself, or you start taking, you know, equity out of yourself, because whether or not it goes well or it goes badly, you're left holding the bag. In a less complex way of answering it is, just don't put all your eggs in one basket or one person, because either things end up really well and then you just focus on this one thing, and that's not so good, or things go really bad and now all you can focus on is where you are now after you gave up a lot for this one thing or person, and then that's also not so good. So yeah.